Great. 6 o'clock, we'll call this meeting to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, also we'll read our mission statement in partnership with communities. The mission of the Dilworth Glennon Pelton School District is to educate individuals in an environment of trust and respect so they become self-directed, responsible, lifelong learners. Doesn't look like we have any gallery tonight. Board members, all board members except Laura Idem is present. Laura is on vacation. Superintendent Hunstead is with us, as is our community ed director, Tracy Tolleson, and our district staff. So, welcome all. Any changes to the agenda, Shannon?
There is not.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Nicole, is there a second?
Second.
Second by David. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5, public comments and rebel recognition. We don't have anybody here, but any rebel recognition?
Did you have something?
No, you go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, I think last week was School Social Worker Week. Hard to say now. So thanks to Carrie Lake and Mary Maher. They are fantastic. We're very lucky to have them. Students are very supportive, so.
Good deal.
And I was just saying, I went to the junior high musical, and Shannon did,
I was there.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Well, oh, you did too. It was fantastic. It was well attended, so congratulations to everybody involved in that. It's really well done. Agreed.
Good deal.
Sure.
What?
Sure. I mentioned it to Laura, but I see she's not here.
Yeah.
The Glendon Felton Elementary Readathon, they raised over 17,000 and the goal was 10,000.
Wow. For the public that probably couldn't hear that, Glendon Felton Elementary had a readathon and raised $17,000. Do we know what the funds go for? Is it back into the elementary school? I think so.
I think so too.
Well, I think in the past they brought in like like speakers or like a traveling art or different things for the kids to enhance their learning. So awesome. Girls basketball season ended. From the day that they started to the day they ended, they improved, and they should be very proud of themselves for that. It's tough when you're rebuilding and you don't have a lot of upperclassmen. So kudos to those girls. 3 wrestlers went to state. Amy mentioned it last time. I don't think anybody placed that I'm aware of. And
Good experience.
yep, good experience for them. And then the boys basketball team's in the semis tomorrow night at 6 in Detroit Lake. So I'm excited to see their facility. I hear it's beautiful. So, and come away with a W, of course.
And we played each other.
And we played people. Oh, it could be a battle. Anyway, all right. So any other things? All right, custodial reports. Come on up, Tracy.
All right.
I'm assuming you're doing custodial and maintenance together.
Shannon's got me.
I think Shannon.
Oh, Shannon's got me in there.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
Straws and drawings.
I would say from a custodial standpoint right now, we are down 1 custodial staff member in Dilworth, who's out on leave right now. What we're also doing with one of the existing FTEs is we're utilizing it with students. In Dilworth, we have 3 students that help us. They work Monday through Friday. Usually it's 3:30 to 7:30. Wednesdays are a little shorter night due to church, but overall, those students actually fill a zone. And it seems to be going really well, and we've been doing that for, 4+ months, I would say. So over there, we have 3 students in Glendon staff-wise. We are full staffed here, and we utilize 5 students here in Glendon. We have some students who work Monday, Tuesday, some work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we actually have them also have a zone, but we also have them kind of focus on different hallways and other tasks that we need. It could be a setup for an event or any additional things that we can utilize them for. So it's been a win-win for us. I know that when we bring on the new gym and get more spaces, we'll see where we are, but I anticipate that You know, the one vacancy we have in Dilworth, we'll fill that one. It might be something also in Dilworth. What we did there is we brought on, we have 2 full-time student staff members that work during the day, with the goal of having that additional staff member to also be able to help during the day in the new space. So it might be some more students at night. I think the benefit to that is, 1, we're giving them jobs and teaching them responsibility. And 2, it's the benefit piece too, that we're just keeping that in mind as well. If we can utilize students, we will. And I think we all enjoy them. They do a great job for us. And again, looking at our areas and stuff, we, with 1 staff member in Dilworth leaving, it really forces you to look at your maps and say, what are we switching? So we're reevaluating our zones again, with us being down 1, over in Dilworth and Linden. You know, we just kind of stay on top of our zones just to make sure events and things are covered. With us wrapping up most of our home events on Saturday, it was kind of a little woo-woo. I would be lying if I didn't say it was a woo-woo. But no, it was, it's been a great season. It's been steady. And if you, most of you have been at the games, you'll see even with the concessions, we filled that with students this year. Sometimes getting, you know, the parents, they get busy, they work all day, they come and think, oh, I gotta volunteer for whatever. Here we've had the same 3 students. Sometimes a 4th one is helped out too, but it's been the same ones all season long, and we really enjoyed them. We really have. So, and they've done a great job. Even just, it's funny when you get done at the end of the night, one of them will say, hey, here's your grocery list, Tracy. This is what we need. So they are just in tune to knowing what we need to do. So it's been good. Supplies, we're looking at this next year, in what we'll be needing, from equipment to more garbage cans, things like that. Just really our inventory, trying to keep that low so we don't have to have a lot on hand. With our current vendor, we're able to have them store more, and we just buy what we need and we get it every week or every couple of weeks. So we don't have a lot on site. Vendors, we did have 3 vendors in the last couple of weeks. We had Aramark, Steins, and Brenco, really to come in and say, what can you do for us? Especially with our new spaces, just looking at customer service, to pricing, to what equipment they had. We did have Steins come out on yesterday, I'm getting ready to get it, and they actually brought out one of the new brands that if you go to Sam's Club, they have one of those scrubbers that are, no one drives them. And they were showing how far north they bought some and what it did for their efficiency. And I said, well, we better get the use out of our current ones first before I come with a $70,000 purchase. Right, Shannon?
I just fell off the tip. No.
Yeah. So anyway, but it was interesting to see, and you know, maybe down the road that would be great. We're also looking at training for the custodial staff. They, you know, just hands-on training from PPE to chemicals. And one of our vendors that we had out truly has an online training where staff can learn a lot more sitting as a group, watching it virtually. They can come on site, and a lot of that there was no cost to us. So we're keeping that in mind also for this summer. We also are looking at all of the rooms. I visited with Shannon in the last week, and we were talking about just even the signage. When we have all of our new spaces come on board, we'll have different room numbers. You know, right now we might have room 132 and then it jumps to 135. And so we have a spreadsheet right now of both sites, all the room numbers, which rooms have carpet and tile, just a master sheet for us to work off of, so that when we get our draft and mock-up of what signage we want, we can bring that back and show you that as well, so that what some of the thoughts are. We're going to be gearing up towards summer. It's going to be steady. You know, we'll utilize students as much as we can. But just being mindful that there is some spaces that, teachers will probably want us in there sooner. We have to kind of go off of the construction schedule and see what we can do, and we'll have a master calendar, and we'll share that with the principals so that they know when we're in a room, kind of like we did last year when we're done in the room, we just put a sign on the door, and the things that were almost deficient that we needed to fix in there, and then we put in rebel help tickets to follow, so. But
So,
that's it for us.
anybody have any questions for Tracy? I just gotta thank you for the, all you do in the evenings, because I know you live here, but I've been to so many concession stands, no one runs it as efficiently as you. So kudos to the team that you had in there this year. I thought it was fantastic. They were on top of it. Popcorn was good. It was all good.
Yep.
I went to, I'm not gonna name down the road, but anyway, they had a mess. It took 40 minutes to get through the line, and I'm like, Tracy would clean this up. So this would be like running smooth. So thank you for all that you do.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, maintenance report.
Yeah, so I met with Ryan and Ryan today, and I asked them which one wanted to do the presentation, and they said, you know what, I think you're there, why don't you just go ahead and do it? So I said, yeah, for sure. So we chatted a little bit this morning. Our number one thing is kind of this summer too, right? As Tracy alluded to, what do we have to do? What's it gonna look like? And so we talked over the last few weeks, talked about who's mowing grass, how is it going to get fertilized? Are we going to spray the weeds? Yes, we are. Who's doing it? What do we have for equipment? Do we need any equipment? Whatever. So through that process, we feel we have somebody in place that's worked in Dilworth for a number of years, and I've met with Mike, so they're good there. Our guys are going to do the fertilizing and the spraying. Talked to Brian and Ryan both about that today. They feel very comfortable with doing it. I wanted to make sure of that. But the one thing is we do need to have the Glendon site go out to bids, I think, for just mowing. We did talk about high school kids and that. With all the construction going on around here, I really don't want students buzzing around. Those guys are buzzing around, they just don't. So I would like to put it out for bids. They're gonna visit with a couple companies to see if they're willing to do it. At least for this year, maybe next year. Let's get this facility done. Let's look at what the grass looks like. Yep, we're fertilizing and spraying on our own, so that's good. But I just with everybody running in every direction, I'm afraid that mowing is going to get kicked to the side, and then we're going to have a mess, and we're going to get behind, and now we're going to start chasing it. So we're going to just see what we get from that, and I'm pretty optimistic that that's going to be a good decision here for at least a year. And then if we're all done the following year, hey, maybe we go back to having some students mowing, whatever, because the spaces are cleared of other construction, whatever. So I think it's just really important that we do that. I just want to give them kudos for the snow removal. Those two guys, yes, we have people that work with them, but they're cleaning every doorway. They're just working really hard all winter, and they're here when nobody else is, right? They're coming in early. They're coming on the weekend sometimes to make sure it's ready. I know Dilworth with that south side, they climbed up in those windowsills and cleaned them out twice. That you're just making sure, hey, this is our time to do it, so it doesn't slip, come out of the window and hit a kid or whatever. Same with that whole side. So they worked really hard on making sure that was in a safe spot, and so nobody got hurt. And it takes time. It takes a little. They had to crawl through some windows, and it's quite so we're working on what that can look like in the future. We have a few ideas that we're working on to hopefully remedy at least the windows. So it's not every year, it's just ridiculous. So, that spraying I talked about, fertilizer I talked about, they're both doing well. They're okay with the current non-replacement of the third person. They feel the two of them are doing just fine, and they'd like to keep it that way, is what they expressed to me today. And they said, as your superintendent, I got no problem with that. So yeah, it seems to be working right now. They want to stay that way, and I said, okay, I'm totally good with that, and that's the way it sounds to me as well when I talk to other people. So yeah, that's all I got for that. Is any questions for the maintenance?
So they're okay to cover the boilers and all of that, just between the two of them then?
Yep.
Both sites? So
Yep, Ryan's got the license, and then Brian has run in here on the weekends, and if he's ever had a question, he calls Ryan, and Ryan, a lot of it he can just look on the computer too. But no, that's worked out well. And then if Ryan's ever had a question, he calls Ryan. Ryan knows that Ryan's covering the physical part of running in here, so he doesn't have to do that. But Yep, those two of them have worked that out, so. So, there you go.
Perfect, sounds good. 6.3, board committee reports. Appreciate you ladies sending out the email. I forgot to respond. Thank you for your updates. So maybe we'll just do a verbal update if you guys don't mind for the public to know what committees. So go ahead.
I can go first. I met with the Clay County Collaborative, hard to say. Not a whole lot pertinent to DGF, but just talking about what's going on in the county, local stuff. They mentioned that they had opportunities to educate on oral health. And so they were happy that a lot of the pre-K through elementary age teachers opted for that. So they had some health educators come in and, do the whole toothbrush, oral health spiel. And they were happy that it was a good turnout. So that's nice to see resources being utilized. And that was really the main thing about us. So.
That's open to any government entity in Clay County, correct?
I think so.
At least it used to be, but I'm just wondering.
I'm brand new to it. I went to one meeting on it and I haven't been at the other, I just haven't. So that is my understanding, that it's anybody, that any entity or public entity that wants to be a piece of that, part of that, they can be.
Yeah, I think they mentioned Barnesville utilized their mobile dental care. I think schools can opt to have
it in-house.
have it in-house, for, I'm not sure the period of time, but then families who need it can get their teeth cleaned and things like that.
You have to have so many kids sign up.
Yeah.
They're doing a new and hard, so.
Okay.
And there is a new grant available for, similar to what our positive community norms grant is, so we're not allowed to sign up for that grant because we already have the other one. So those are really the most pertinent things for us.
Great. Any questions? Any questions for Brittany?
No question.
All right, pull your.
We had the joint powers meeting, and the biggest thing on the agenda was the Intergovernmental Retreat that's coming up on April 1st at the Law Enforcement Center from 9 to 4. And then we kind of dove into the name of our group being Joint Powers and our purpose. And it's kind of shifted over the years, and maybe finding something that fits our group a little bit better with representation and the different numbers. So kind of shoring up some of that in the coming months. Because specifically on there, it showed that DGF only has one representative, but typically both the superintendent and a board member attend. So we're attending, but we're not representing officially what's on there. So they're looking at that. And then we discussed the group's COVID response. All of us mostly relying on Clay County Public Health to give us guidance. So ensuring that Kathy and all of her people over there know that they've done a great job for us in the policy and implementation that we've had here and the success. And then discuss overall updates, future meetings, as well as the EMT fire proclamation as presented by Dilworth to have another additional meeting prior to our next one. So.
And for the retreat, I don't think we heard from anybody else, so I'm going to represent the school and share at that retreat, just a 5-minute, 10-minute deal, kind of about the school and how things are going and kind of the positives of the community, so, or the school.
Is that date passed when we're supposed to sign up for that?
You still can register, I believe. I guess I don't remember a closing date on it. Do you?
Yeah, I think there's a closing date.
So it's maybe another week, yeah. So if you want to, I mean, you can, it'll be at the Clay County Sheriff's.
Clay County Law Enforcement
Law
Center.
Enforcement Center, yeah.
9/11/11/2.
Well, I've been to it before, but I know, I think years ago when I was there too, the townships and stuff could come into that one
Yep,
too.
yeah,
there
for
is
sure.
township representation, yeah.
Yep, there is, for sure.
You can just go represent both, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Great.
You good?
Yeah, I looked at my calendar. I have my schedule's full that day, so.
Yeah, I guess it's for me too. It's like the collaboratives, the joint powers. I'm slowly learning, what are these groups? What do they do? what's my role in it? How do I represent the school? I'm just trying to figure it all out, and so.
Yeah. I feel
I'm getting
like I'm just learning too, because we only meet, or that collaborative only meets 4 times a year.
Right,
So
it's
it's hard
every
to
quarter,
keep
I know.
in the loop, but it's only 4 times, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep updated and learning. And they have a new, director
Yeah.
as well, so
Yeah.
she's just kind of getting her bearings, and so she's like, we're all learning together.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds perfect. All right, 6.4, superintendent report.
All right, so we did share out our admin responsibilities for next year. That has gone smoothly, I guess, at least in my world, in visiting with them about their placement for next year. We do have an assistant principal AD position, activities director position open. We have 9 applicants now. We got 1 more today. We have that open for a couple more weeks. I think when I first sent it out, I'd like to have this person by April 1st. That was a mistake on my part. We're going to interview that first week of April, and then hopefully have it filled soon after that. So anyway, so that's a big thing for us and exciting. Very happy with how people are responding, and they're already starting to talk about where they're going to be and things that they need to get done. So it's great to talk to those guys and their new positions. Staffing, obviously tonight, we have some retirements at this board meeting to approve. After that approval, I've been meeting with the admin team, and they're pretty much know what they need or what they're going to want after this. So that'll be coming out. Because this is a short week, we thought it would just go out next week. That gives us some time to work through this. If you notice, I did post the industrial tech position. Kip is doing that this year. He's not going to be coming back. So that is one. And then we are going to have another industrial tech or ag position open. So we posted as an ag position because that's what we're hoping we can get and can start this FFA. And so that's something we put in there that we'd like to get that started. It's not required to have had FFA experience, but it would be nice to get that program started. So that's what we're shooting for. So that's what we did send out. After, again, retirements and things tonight go final, we will have some other postings to put up, which is good. It's also exciting. The moving, our teachers are very eager to get that figured out. We have to make sure we know who's in which place first. So I just need them to be patient, and that's important. I understand that. I like that they want to, okay, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? They're really organized. That matters, and that's really nice to hear. But we do have to make sure we have things in place first. One thing that they're going to hear right now, and they'll hear it from their principals as well, is that we're going to sit down with Comstock, Travis here, what rooms can't we move into this summer, or at least store our boxes in this summer? Which ones are you going to be working on that we can't be in? So we're going to do that very soon. I talked to Travis today about it. He said, okay, he's going to work through that. And then Dennis, same in Dover. Which rooms can't we move into? Okay, now we know, hey, there's maybe 3 here or 2 here, and same with Dover. That way our teachers know, okay, that's the room I'm going to be in. I can't move in yet, but I can put my boxes next door, or I can put them here or there, or whatever. So, I mean, there's just a lot of moving parts, so I can't, it's like I said, we could tell them right now, and then in 2 weeks change it, and then in 2 weeks change it, and that's going to be super irritating. I want to wait, give them one message, and here we go. So, anyway, I should say, and maybe it's in here, I think it is, that U-Haul did donate a ton of boxes, so that's really nice, so that'll be helpful. Next thing on there, I just had rebranding. So as we move into the school and the whole project gets done, it's going to be a significant piece of our direction, right? And so once that's done, I want to visit with you guys, and I think that's that summer time that we can get together and start talking about, okay, what do we need to do to get our message up? What's our website look like? What's our signage look like? What do we, our mascot, what are we doing here? And so as we invest into that as a school or as schools, that's going to be really important for us to build our future. And I want us to start thinking about that. And so that's why I wanted to just touch on it tonight briefly. And it'll be a significant piece of the next thing on here, which is strategic planning. So that has been kicked to the side a little bit. We just had to do it. You guys had mentioned that earlier, and I thought, oh, we'll get it done. Yeah, so it's that's also gonna be a piece of that rebranding, it just is, and so I don't wanna put that cart before the horse either. And it was, sometimes you move too fast and you slow down a little bit, and I've really felt that I need to slow down, because I want it to be done right. And so I think that's another thing this summer, with the buildings getting completed, start putting some things together in the strategic plan, the rebranding, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, so that's that. Construction, I'll talk more about that in our budget committee meeting tonight. I just thought I have some items there. If you have questions about the construction, you can ask, but I thought I would kind of more focus it in that group tonight, and we need to share more we can. Okay, questions?
Back on that ag/FFA or whatever.
Yeah.
Did I hear, I thought when I talked to Brandon in the city, said they were talking about setting up an FFA too next year in their school?
They'd like to. I don't know where their instructor is at with that now. They were having, I don't know 100% where that's at. If you've looked, and you guys don't look at InPost, but Barnesville is posting for the same position. So I don't know if their person left or that's something new they're doing. I haven't talked to them down there about it. I just noticed when I was posting ours that they have the same posting. And they do have an FFA program down there.
Yeah,
So hopefully if we can find that person, maybe it's a connection with them and talk, maybe it's Brandon, you know, with Moorhead too. Yeah, I just hope we can find something like that. If we can't, just so you know, and we get, let's say we get 4 or 5 people that apply for the IT job, industrial tech, and we don't get any ag, we're leaning towards them, let's hire 2 of them because they can still teach the welding, they can teach the small engines and that type of thing, so. We're hopeful, because we're gonna need 2, one for middle school, one for high school.
So the high school ones of ours won't be going to the career academy?
Yeah.
That they will.
Oh, no, they still can. That's more junior, seniors. We need our 9th and 10th graders to get stuff. And so when you start looking at the schedule, it can be full of 9th and 10th grade or 10, 12. I mean, because our issue is we just haven't had shop here for a couple of years. And so we want to make sure when we send them, and there's already, I just talked to Katie before I came here to the meeting. There's 28 kids signed up to go there next year. So that's nice. We just want to make sure that we're preparing them here too, so whatever they're going to over there, they feel like they fit or they belong.
Basically a lot too for the middle school since they're not going to do the north end, so.
Right, yep, so it'll be all day, it'll have 2 classes in it. We'll have 9th or 10th through 12 kind of elective type things, and we'll have a junior high or middle school in that all the time. Yep. Other questions? All right.
Very good, all right. 7.1, regular meeting, this is approval of the February 28th, 2020 meeting, we have a motion. Motion by Amy, is there a second? Second by Nicole, all those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Do you want to grab that's down there, and you can be the treasurer for the evening?
Sure.
So claims and accounts, approve the bills for the date for March 2022, the amount of
$217,688.55.
Also in our business is treasurer's monthly budget report. Approve and file the audit for the treasurer's monthly budget report, donation from U-Haul in the amount of 4 bundles of large boxes to be used for DGF staff moving to different classroom sites. And to approve the extracurricular coaches as presented there in your packet. Do we have a motion? Motion by David, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany, any discussion or questions?
Back on those activities ones, that's hard now, or which ones, or whether it says for 21, 22, so are they getting done, or is it just part of them that we're approving? Or?
Well, then we approved earlier this year, correct me if I'm wrong, a bunch of these. I think there was a bunch. There were some missing for the spring. I think our head track situation wasn't remedied. I think we had a change in softball. So this is just an updated list, Ronnie, of some of those gaps that were not filled earlier, is my understanding.
And then we have the new e-games
And
on the bottom.
Yep, and that was added.
That was added.
Yep, Joshua.
And then I know that the head girls track coach, that was change, because Roger Safransky retired from doing coaching.
Yep.
And then, softball, there's some new, not just new assistants. I think the baseball ones are the same.
So it'll basically be through June of 22.
Yep,
Yes, yeah, this will be to finish out this school year running, yep.
Where did you say the E-games one? Where
The
did
very
That's
last,
the last one.
last page.
Last
There should be
page.
one more page for you.
should be 3 pages of them.
There it is, it's the very last one there, E-games.
Okay. And I glanced through all of the bills too, and I didn't see any questions on any of them when I looked through it. So-
Yeah, I didn't see any. I figure if I look through them and you don't have a question, we're good. There's my bean cone over there.
Yeah, well, I had a bunch of questions, but Brooke was able to answer everything I had, so if you see yellow on my packet, but they all made sense to me after, because I don't know everybody yet, and so I'm going, okay, wait a minute, what's that? And so, the other thing, Tracy, with that big basketball event, we had a lot of names in there for those officials.
Yeah.
That was a substantial piece of what you saw, so, anyway.
Yep. Any other questions?
That's a good question. The fishing coach.
Is that a position?
It's not a position because it's not a Minnesota State High School League
Oh.
sanctioned activity.
So.
Because the trap isn't on here either, I don't believe.
No,
Yeah, that's what I was
No,
looking
because
for.
those aren't high school league.
Yeah.
We
They're
we
clubs.
support them, they're clubs, we support them, but they
So
don't,
you can still letter as long, even if it's on.
they have lettering in that, but we don't pay their coaches
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
because it's a club. Yeah.
Cool. Good stuff.
That's a good question.
Thanks.
I didn't-
All right, any other questions or discussion? All right, we have a motion by David, a second by Brittany. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 9.1, early retirement offers. This is to approve the early retirement incentive compensation offer as presented as part of the criteria established by Minnesota statute 122A.48, effective at the end of the 21-22 school year. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by David, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Amy.
Did we get that offer? Or what you're talking about?
I don't know if you guys ever had the official. Did you guys, is it in here? I didn't see it in here either, so I can't tell you what it is. It's 7,000. I didn't change it from what Brian had said previously.
Okay.
I left that the same. When I met with those that qualified for retirement, I told them that number is there for one more year. I'm not gonna guarantee it's gonna stay there. But for this year, I could honor that number. So those, that first year, per their contract, they get 6,200. The first year, they get the additional 70. So added to that. So the first year, they'd get 13,200.
That's what this motion is for.
It is.
That amount.
It is. So I was looking through either and I don't see it in here. So-
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Yep, no, the number is 7,000.
All right, we have a motion by David, a second by Amy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9.2, this is an early retirement agreement for Beth Paulson effective the end of the 21-22 school year. Do we have a motion? So moved. Motion by Amy, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Nicole, right? Yep. Okay. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9.3, early retirement agreement for Tim Johnson effective the end of the 21-22 school year. Do we have a motion?
So
Motion by Ronnie, is there a second? Second. Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9.4, early retirement agreement for Amy Redmond effective the end of the 21-22 school year. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Nicole, is there a second?
Second.
Second by David. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9.5, early retirement agreement for Barb Roloffs effective at the end of the 21-22 school year. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by David, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Amy. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9.6, early retirement agreement for Lori Kraus effective the end of the 21-22 school year. Do we have a motion? Motion by Nicole, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9.7, this is a second, to approve the second reading of the following policies. 513, student promotion, retention, and program design. 516, student medication. 525, violence prevention applicable to students and staff. 530, immunization requirements. 532, use of peace officers and crisis teams to remove students with IEPs from school grounds. 534, unpaid meal charges. 601, school district curriculum and instructional goals. 603, curriculum development. 604, instructional curriculum. 607, organization and grade levels. And 613, graduation requirements. Do we have a motion? Motion by Nicole, is there a second?
Second.
Second by David. Any questions or discussion?
Nothing changed from the last time you guys, policy committee met.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Can I just make a comment?
Oh, yeah.
too? For the policies coming up, I emailed the policy committee, but we need to look at that wellness policy before the end of the school year and get that on our next,
The updated.
the updated version for next year.
Okay. Sounds good. 9.8, this is non-certified contract for Daryl Velka, transportation, $17 an hour, effective March 14, 2022. We have a motion. Motion by Amy. Is there a second? Second by David. Any questions or discussion?
See, not been doing any driving or doing anything.
He retired a few years ago, so thank you, Daryl.
Yeah.
For coming out of retirement.
Super huge thank you to
Yeah.
Darryl. I shook his hand the other day at one of the basketball games. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Saturday or Thursday or Saturday. But, no, Thursday it was. Yeah, this is a huge help for us because type 3, we've just been short and had some staff shortages there lately. And so he's filling a significant way for us.
What kind of vehicles that or what was it?
Little vans, I'm sorry, not the van, but Suburbans.
This were.
Yeah,
So thank you, Daryl.
yes.
If you're watching at home, phone a friend and find more.
Yeah. Bring a friend to work. With a type 3 license.
Yeah.
I was gonna say thank your in-laws, but she's not here.
She had another meeting she had to run to, so.
Okay.
Taking care of it today.
So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next board meeting, Monday, March 28th, 6 PM in the High School Media Center, followed by the Personnel Committee meeting at the conclusion of the board meeting. Budget Committee will just do a quick bathroom break and then we'll get started here. Just to remind the public, please, if you know anybody that's looking for job opportunities, please visit our school's website, call the buildings, talk to people. We would love to have substitute teachers, drivers, and paraprofessionals, anything else. We're a great school district, great people, so please check out our website. I'm sure no one is gonna watch this, but I
That was
feel
a good
better.
plug. That was a good
I'm
plug.
feeling better that we just say it every time. Maybe someone will say, hey, you should watch them. They really want to quote you.
Yeah, maybe it should be a part of my report every week too.
I think so.
I think so too.
I
Can I
think
just
so.
throw something out there
Yeah.
too? I think we should extend a thank you to the teachers retiring. I know a lot of them
Big
had
time.
many years of service in the
Yes.
district and did great things, so
Yeah, I
they'll be
appreciate
missed,
that.
but we appreciate them.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Brittany, for saying that.
Yes, appreciate that. Okay, so team, what time is it here? 6:40? This meeting is adjourned.